This game just underway, starting lives on your screens. Polo likes to hold on cooler with Polo and Ateneo with the first blood being drawn here. We had Escalona scoring quickly off the jump. And this can be expected to be a fast game, Mark, given the quality of the point guards that will be here today.
That's especially for Ateneo. Expect Ateneo to push the ball on every occasion, as we saw earlier in the graphics. First meeting, 16 fast break points for Ateneo. And here's two more, possibly.
Escalona too far ahead to control the leather. And here come the Maroons. There's a good curl by Baño, unable to deliver it all the way. Escalona to the trailing Intal. He's up and misses. Crowd shrieking, screaming early on.
And those are two missed opportunities on the fast break by Ateneo.
And there's a block early on by Kramer. You know, Kramer could be a prime candidate for the most improved player this year.
Most definitely, averaging 10 points and 8 rebounds a game, Doug Kramer. You know, sir, with you be having a tall lineup with Baño, Santos, and David, Ateneo really has the advantage here in terms of quickness.
You know, in the last game, Abi Santos, and that was the game against NU, did not play at 100%, was already injured going into that game, and re-injured himself in the course of the battle. And UP really had a hard time against NU's 2-2-1 full court press.
That's right, but Abi Santos showing everybody his heart. He played his heart out
Yes.
in that ball game, even though he was humbled. And he had some crucial baskets in the victory of UP.
And of course, Marvin Cruz was the red-hot UP Maroon on that day, delivering the key blows, you know, just when NU was threatening to take that game away with their possibly their first win. It was still Marvin Cruz who saved the day for Lito Vergara and company.
That's right, Marvin hit two big jumpers from about 15 feet in the last minute of that game against NU. We're probably seeing the two best point guards right now in the UAP in Marvin Cruz and LA Tenorio.
Ball game is tied at 2 apiece, 8:30 to go. Nearly lost by the Blue Eagles. Tenorio said, "Let me organize everything." The lieutenant assembling his troops. Intal floats. Can't score off the baseline, and the rebound's controlled by Nestor David. Here comes Baño, quickly across. He cuts inside and scores on the break.
Baño! That is something he can do. Mika Baño, he is fast for his size, and he is also a very good ball handler.
Just couldn't get enough playing time at De La Salle last year. Here's Tenorio and Kramer operating at the top of the keyhole area. Intal tries to back his way through. Tough angle to handle. It's in the air, won by UP. Here comes Marvin Cruz, spearheading the attack, penetrates all the way, misses the shot. Referee's whistle holding the play. Is it a blocking foul? Let's see how this goes. It's an offensive foul, apparently.
They will call the offensive foul on Marvin Cruz. So good defense that time by LA Tenorio.
And talking about LA Tenorio, he continues to be the leader of this team.
Most definitely. Tremendous numbers this season for LA Tenorio. In the last game against Adamson, 17 points, 4 3-pointers, 4 rebounds, and 3 steals for downtown LA.
We are running out of metaphors for LA Tenorio. Here's Tenorio, tries to scoop it over to Japeth Aguilar, but the ball is yanked away by UP. Lito Vergara has a point to make. I think he was fighting for possession. It'll go to UP.
Nobody touched that ball. Turnover on the part of LA Tenorio. But Ateneo loves to run that pick and roll play between Tenorio and Doug Kramer.
Ateneo, as Mark pointed out, on a 5-game winning clip. They won against NU and have not lost since that day, way back in the first round. In the meantime, Tenorio, you know, don't you like the maturity of Tenorio? When he was in first year and second year, he would simply rush it up and bahala na sa baba.
Wala siyang ibang speed dati. He always played fast. But now Tenorio knows when to play fast and knows when to be deliberate.
It looks like we have an illegal screen by Kramer. And now let's go to Gretchen Pulido, who says that she has something new about Lito Vergara. Gretchen?
You know, Seb, you're really going to definitely see a different kind of UP Fighting Maroons in today's game. And this is the first time that Coach Lito Vergara actually wrote something different in the whiteboard of the dugout of the UP Fighting Maroons. Welcome to the home of the UP Fighting Maroons. Believe that we can beat Ateneo. This is not to give you pressure, rather this will inspire you to do your best. Do the little things, stay together, play hard, play smart, play the UP way. With that, he actually said everything UP has to do to win this game. Lastly, UP player Jay Agbayani will be out for the season due to his ACL injury in his right knee. Sam, back to you.
Thanks a lot. And maybe that is not actually an overstatement on the part of Lito Vergara, simply because UP has always played well in this building.
That's right. In fact, they have, actually both teams have not lost here at the Blue Eagle Gym this year.
In fact, the meeting between these two sides happened at the Araneta Coliseum in the opening run. And here comes the Blue Eagles snatching the ball away. Here comes Intal, gives it to Tenorio. Behind the back pass to Escalona. Wild hook shot, goes nowhere. Norman Black yelling at his Eagles to come back to the nest. Here's Baño charging hard, forced to kick it outside to Ferrer. Santos, he can nail a three. He wants to. He'll try to go in, and a foul is whistled. Who do they give it to? They give it to JC Intal. Check out this Polo shot block. Polo likes a whole lot cooler with Polo. Did you sleep well last night and have a good night's rest? Because we're in for quite a workout, my friend.
I know this. This game will definitely go down the line.
That's why we work in pairs. We'll be right back after these messages. Back here at the Blue Eagle Gym, time to check out the matchup between the two top point guards in our Milo Wafer matchup. Solid call.
Both point guards are very good scorers. Marvin Cruz averaging 12, Tenorio almost 15 a game. But the assist numbers are definitely favoring Tenorio. 6 assists for Tenorio, only 3 for Marvin Cruz.
Galing ng dalawa, no? We told them not to move, and they're not moving. Back here at the Blue Eagle Gym, Baño unloads a long three. No connection. Japeth Aguilar on the receiving end. Almost, but not quite. Too deep under the sea. And there's going to be a foul against number 10 from UP. It's Baño with his first.
That's a problem by Japeth Aguilar here. He will get the ball, but the slight nudge, because of his slight frame, natutulak pa itong si Japeth eh. A good thing for Ateneo, Macky Escalona was there.
You know, Japeth is such a young player. He's still developing his ball control, whereas in the future, it might become more automatic. Dito nandun pa yan, may crowd, natatakot mawala yung bola, di ba?
In the future, plays like that, dataktak na ni Japeth yun.
Siguro sabi niya, supalpalan na lang.
But he has been a presence for his team on the defensive end.
Here's Cruz with the scoop to Baño. Oh, look at that! What a spot by Aguilar. Here comes Tenorio, the lieutenant, pushing guard. Dish over to Escalona, who won't place the block on the other end.
Escalona! That's 2 blocks already by Aguilar, both on Mika Baño.
And that goes through the fingers, and Escalona allows it to float outside. And this gives us a chance to go to Leah Cruz, who has a smile and a good afternoon for all you Ateneo fans.
Hi, Seb, Mark, you should have seen the boys in practice yesterday. They were all over the place. They were running, shooting, jumping, laughing, dunking. They just had really high energy and hopefully they'll carry over in today's game. Coach Kramer wants his players to match UP's intensity but to still play smart. He also wants them to steer clear of unsportsmanlike fouls. And of course, Ford Arrow, who was just operated on yesterday for his ACL injury, is not here but is still egging his teammates on. Galingan daw nila because he will be watching. Seb?
Thanks a lot. Baka Leah, pag pumupunta ka sa practice nila, akala nila may coverage. Diba? As you take a look at that shot block, Polo's shot block, Polo likes a whole lot cooler with Polo. We almost got that entangled.
So, Steph, actually, both teams missing some players because of injuries. 4 blocks already for Ateneo. Ford Arrow and Agbayani, both suffering from ACL tears.
Agbayani was playing well in that game against NU. So it's always a painful development when we hear that some of our players do get injured, young as they are, and brimming with enthusiasm to play. That's a great shot by Vaino. He finally escapes from Japeth Aguilar.
You have to give credit to Mika Vaino. Even after getting blocked twice, he still attacks the defense of Japeth Aguilar.
Kramer unloads. Nobody has hit an outside shot in the game so far. Imagine this, Mark. We are already down to 352. Here's Vaino. Thought about it, and he traveled. You know, this traveling, to the credit of the referees, this has been called consistently in all the games, as well as in the junior division.
That is correct, sir. It's a very hard call to make, especially in a move like that, because you really have to look at closely at the feet of the player who has the ball.
Axel Doruelo is in our Addict Mobile profile. Addict Mobile prepaid. Now you're in. Doruelo has a decent shot from the outside. And we have a foul observed by the officials. It's on number 4. They will give it to Madolina. Madolina also had a decent game against NU last weekend. We've got Martin Kimson making his first appearance this afternoon for Japeth Aguilar. Japeth gets a good hand from the Blue Babel Battalion.
So both teams now slowly going to their bench. Madolina and Gibson will now match up at that center position.
Escalona finally nails a looper. He's been trying to work on that floater. It finally drops in. Do you know that Macky Escalona is the only person, aside from Tenorio, who has scored in this ball game? Intal trying to control it. Escalona, God. Intal slamming it home.
What a play by JC Intal. Did you see how high he went up for that dunk?
And the Ateneo gallery goes coconuts. Santos angled away. There's the foul correctly called. Why, if I know this Ateneo gallery, when we go through the slow-mo, they will cheer again, like in this Revicon Ion Power move. Listen to the crowd roar. Brought to you by new Revicon Ion Energy Drink from Nijong Ion.
Slow-mo na lang yan, ha?
Yes, parang real time pa rin. And we will be back. The Blue Eagles ahead by 4. Tuloy ang bakbakan dito sa Katipunan. This happened last weekend. Marvin Cruz simply scintillating. Mark?
Last night, he led UP to that victory against NU, as we mentioned earlier, hitting a lot of clutch jumpers in the home stretch, but 21 points, 13 rebounds, and 7 assists for Marvin Cruz in only 28 minutes. So a near triple-double for Marvelous Marvin.
It looked like the near weekend of near triple-double, especially with Arwin Santos, that ton of blocks that Boom and TJ were chronicling so well last Sunday. But you know, if you, I'm sure you felt this at the FU camp, you know, thanking their lucky stars, not too many turnovers that could have been their undoing in the end there.
And they have to thank their defense for preserving that win, the Tamacals, because they committed 4 turnovers in their last 4 possessions.
Avi Santos unable to sink any free throws. However, UP getting the ball anew. Avi Santos says, well, my free throw shooting isn't too hot today. Let me try my jump hook.
That is something they need to do more often. Give the ball to Avi Santos. Not in the perimeter, but in the low post against Kramer.
In the reports today, especially that of the Inquirer by Jasmine W. Payo, her pregame story interview showed the interview with Norman Black, and he said that they're wary of the inside game of UP. In the meantime, the ball to be retained by the Blue Eagles with a 4-second shot clock. You know, for UP, I don't like to say this, but you know, as long as the South keeps losing, they have a chance. All of a sudden, for a shot at Final Four, LaSalle not really delivering so far, not with a consistent rhythm, that is.
That's right, and the important thing is LaSalle and UP are still playing, I think, sometime next week. So that's a very important game. So even if you fall down by 1 game, you can make it up because you guys are still going to face each other.
While on the other hand, for the Blue Eagles, they could be looking at a possible shot at the second spot, which will give them a twice to beat. Dindo Pumaren, UE coach, is in the audience here today, and they will play on Saturday.
Yes, it is a very important stretch for Ateneo. As we look at Zion Later, who played a fabulous game last Saturday against Adamson. Later on a tear, 12 points, all in the second half and 6 rebounds in only 18 minutes for this rookie from Australia.
Curl downstairs, no basket. It's an offensive foul. Abby Santos will get his first.
His first 4 on UP.
Really, this game, no outside shooting, Mark. Everything inside.
That's right, because UP is trying to establish their inside game through Abby Santos. In Ateneo, their shots are not falling.
LA Tenorio looks at Norman Black for instructions. Membrere, by the way, reinserted into the lineup just after that timeout. Tenorio has 8 seconds to do something. Gibson is bottled up, and the ball to be retained by the Blue Eagles with 5 seconds in their shot clock.
But the defensive strategy on Tenorio is very clear. UP does not want LA Tenorio to take a wide open three-pointer. They'd rather for him to penetrate and dish off.
It looks like there's a reversal of the decision, and the ball will go to the Maroons with 1 minute and 33 remaining. Low-scoring opening quarter. Here's Baño. Gino Ferrer. Doruelo can't squeeze the trigger. Ferrer not in shooting range. Baño says, let me try this. Just a bit off angle. Kimson fighting for it. But it'll go to the Blue Eagles. Touch last by a Maroon.
A surprise from Coach Norman Black. Rabah Al-Husseini is in the game for the 19.
As the 6'6" rookie of Norman Black.
Imagine Japeth, Aguilar, and Husseini 2 years from now for Ateneo. This will be an awesome combination.
Membrere throws up a prayer. Norman Black begging for a foul. Abby Santos considering a 3. Ferrer, the same thing. Ferrer to quick release. Doruelo, who doesn't shoot. Epres off the back iron, touch last by Santos.
Good rotation on defense that time by Ateneo.
I'm looking at both coaches and they're saying, why are you rushing? There is still so much time. You know, the drums can give you really a misinterpretation of time. Careless inbound by the Blue Eagles. UP can't capitalize. Membrere taps it away. UP keeps the ball.
So now there's a chance here for the Maroons to tie this game up with 40 seconds left in the first.
You know, aside from the location, these two schools share a lot. Some students of UP will study in Ateneo. Some will go to UP for their law or medical studies. So a lot being shared by these two. But that will be on hold today until after this ball game. Baseline move, David, yes.
Nestor,
He is so effective when he's operating along that baseline. Quick ball fake by Nestor David, and that quick first step against Husseini gets him a 3-point play. That's his favorite move, ball fake, one dribble, and strong to the basket, Nestor David.
Tumagat sa breaks si Husseini, and that was a power move powered by new Revicon Ion Energy Drink, Condisyong Ion. Ball game is tied at 12 apiece. Ateneo has not scored since posting a 12-8 lead. Good afternoon, Philippines. Seb Sarmiento, Mark Molina, Gretchen Pulido, and Leah Cruz, your team for this game. Our only game here today. Under the helm of Director Al Neri. UP grabs the lead. The last time they led was way at the start when it was 6-2. Differential of about 7 seconds between shot clock and game clock. Tenorio to Kimson, short stab, misses it, and here come the Maroons. A chance for a final save. Ferrer, they want to go closer. Latere bats it away.
UP will retain ball possession. But a good job by UP defensively in taking Tenorio's offense out of this game. They are forcing LA Tenorio to make those passes. And unfortunately, the other guys like Kim Son are not finishing.
Tenorio still with only 2 points of press. Can't knock it in, and it's been an action-packed, thrilling, exciting opening quarter between UP and the Ateneo Blue Eagles. UP emerging on top by 1. The ABS-CBN UAAP sports team will return to the Blue Eagle Gym with all of you after this. Blue Eagle Gym rocking here. Boy, this is just one jeepney ride away for the UP students.
Joseph, there is no home court advantage in the Blue Eagle Gym right now. In fact, more UP fans than Ateneo fans.
Epres has been trying to aim for it, finally nails it. It was just a matter of time.
Because this guy, he's a very good shooter. And that's, I think, his third open look. And as you said, just a matter of time for him to hit one open shot.
Third year, 5'11" guard. Jai Reyes is in the ballgame for the first time. UP ending a long scoring drought of about 3 minutes towards the end of that opening quarter. Ferrer has been bottled up. Here comes Marvin Cruz. Pops one from 15. Gets it to trickle in.
And that's his favorite shot. The spot-up jumper from about 15 feet. And Ateneo, let's see if this bench unit of Ateneo can get the job done while the starters are resting.
So many of these players have played against each other way back in their junior years. And an offensive foul whistled against the Blue Eagles. They give it to Al-Husseini, his second of the game.
Illegal screen called that time against Raba Al-Husseini. Ateneo now playing 2-3 zone defense.
5-point lead by UP is their biggest. Quickly to Gretchen.
Thanks, Sam. It's not all about winning, but it's all about pride. Just Coach Vergara. We know their plays. We scouted them well. All we have to do now is make things happen inside the court. Keep attacking and penetrating Ateneo. We cannot just settle for jump shots. Deny LA, force Laterra to bring down the ball, and lastly, make those free throws. Back to you.
Make those free throws. That seems to be the gospel here at the Blue Eagle Gym for some strange reason. Earlier today, the UP High School beating the Ateneo Blue Eaglets 58-53. By the way, Ken Baracoso is in the game for the first time. Norman Black trying a different look here. Maybe he'll get some offense from his second team.
That's right. This is a smaller lineup now. Latel now will swing to the power forward position. Baracoso will be the number three guy for Ateneo.
UP doing a marvelous job of taking the ball away, denying Ateneo any operating look. Dorwello, 3, up and out. Rebound controlled by Latere, and somebody drops to the deck. It is Epres. And Epres will get the foul as well, his first of the game. The first UP team foul. Time down to 8:08. Jai Reyes setting up the table. How many battles have they had, him and Marvin Cruz, in the past? Jai Reyes cracks up a 3. And the rebound is controlled by the Maroons. Dorwello to Cruz. Membrera waiting for him. Cruz zigzagging, hopping, putting it up. Can't get it to go against the glass. Baracoso quickly to Membrera.
Great action here, Seb, so far. But as you mentioned, very poor shooting from the outside for both teams.
I think it was only Epres' shot and one by Cruz earlier. There's a shot by Aguilar. Latere, Reyes says, I'm open, I'll shoot. Can't nail it. Ball is loose. Latere fighting for it, but David has it. David over to Cruz. Cruz penetrates. That's partially blocked. Now we can go to Leah Cruz, who has a report about the Blue Eagles.
Well, that was a very disappointing first quarter for the Blue Eagles. They missed a lot of easy opportunities, and Coach Shamavak was definitely not pleased about it in the huddle. If they get a fast break, he says, finish the play. If they don't call the foul, they've got to find their way to the basket. Sev?
I agree, Leah, and I think the spacing of the Blue Eagles on the break was not so well founded and well tuned out in that opening quarter.
Coach Norman is a very valid point from Coach Norman because they had opportunities, fast break opportunities, but they could not score.
17-12, and so far the only points put in have been from the UP Maroons. Doruelo thought about it. Here's Santos, big pass to David. He likes that spot, can't nail it. Davina trying to control it, and it'll go to Ateneo. Or am I speaking too soon? No, it will go to Ateneo because UP wants to apply a press right now. Ateneo still in the backcourt. Marvin Cruz and Jai Reyes banging against each other. Escalona back in the ballgame. Shot clock reduced to 11. Maracoso, they're setting up Jai Reyes. Still can't nail it from the outside. Rebound controlled by Axel Doruelo. Axel slows it down, goes downstairs to Gavino. Gavino looking for a cutter, can't find anybody. Finally, there's the open shot. Doruelo can't get it to stay down. Kramer blocks that rebound, his 5th of the game. Here's Aguilar thinking about making a move. Aguilar scoots inside, plays volleyball with the basketball, ends up with a foul going to the basket.
That's a good aggressive move from Japeth Aguilar. He will never be a post-up player, but that is something he can do. Get the ball in the post and then face basket, and then with that long first step of his, he can beat his man to the basket.
You know, that's good advice. Not everybody can master a post-up move, you know.
Yeah, a guy like Arvin Santos, he plays the power forward position. He gets a lot of points, shoots a lot from the outside, but he will never be a post-up player.
I think the way the game is being played nowadays, where the accent on big men shooting from the outside with the Argentine kind of game, and something the U.S. learned from quickly in the Athens Olympics, Aguilar does not probably need, as you recommended, a post-up move. He cans the free throw. Ateneo's first point in the second quarter, and we are down to 6:15. Breakaway, Cruz downstairs to David.
That is the experience of Marvin Cruz. Last year, he would have tried to take that shot against Aguilar and he would have gotten his shot blocked. But this year, a good drop pass to Nestor David.
What seasoning can do for you. In the meantime, another botched play, and that is thrown away by the Maroons. And Abby Santos is on the case from Doruelo. In the meantime, a KFC assist. This was what Mark was talking about. Dropped in by Marvin Cruz, and that is definitely one of our candidates for KFC assist of the game. We will be back with this game after these messages. Back here at the Blue Eagle gym, and we're now looking for our Pure Foods DJ Hot Dog Lucky Fan. And you know the kids can tell. And that's Franco Villaroman enjoying his afternoon, his game, and his Pure Foods DJ Hot Dog. Kids can tell. Hindi siya matakaw, ano? Commissioner Noliala of Philippine Basketball Association is in the building.
Of course, we all know the commissioner is a big fan of the Blue Eagles.
And he actually went to LaSalle for high school, I think. I double-check on that. He's just a whisper away, actually. In the meantime, 19-13. Here's Ferrer. Back in the ball game. Ateneo's offense is not in the building, Mark Molina.
That's nice. Very poor outside shooting so far for Ateneo. Only 13 points.
They will call that against Intal. It was close. Intal had a sneaky move, but he came into contact with the hand of the dribbler.
Coach Norman Black now inserting back his starters because he did not get a lot of help from his bench people in today's game.
Nothing much there. And so far, the Blue Eagles, with less than 5 minutes here, have mustered only 13 points. That's a 3. No bite on that expedition. There's a fire from the side by Axel Norvello, and it's a 3, and UP has posted its biggest lead of 9 points.
Look at Norvello sticking on LA Tenorio, denying Tenorio the ball.
Tenorio wiggles open. He managed to push away Norvello. Rebound underneath. And there's a foul in the ensuing rebound.
I think the foul will be called on Axel Norvello.
Let's check out on this Smart Buddy 3. Smart Buddy, the #1 prepaid service in the country. Boy, he is a shooter. Don't you notice, Mark, in the game of basketball, yung point guard, natural na point guard, yung shooter. Alam mo, shooter eh. Diba? Kahit sa NU, makikita mo yan kay Fernandez.
Jonathan Fernandez. Fantastic jump shooter pa yun. This guy, Norvello, of course.
Escalona momentarily open. Aguilar looking for space, might be guilty of the offensive foul. No, I speak too soon. It will be a blocking foul, much to the disappointment of the University of the Philippines.
I like the aggressiveness of Japeth Aguilar in the offensive end. He knows he has the quickness advantage against Gavino. That's why he is trying to take it strong to the basket. Here's that move. Good, strong move by Japeth Aguilar. And that's a good goal. Nestor David was late trying to take that charging.
I think what we've learned from the games of Abed Gidabin and Ramon Fernandez, okay, we don't have too much in terms of bulk, but boy, we will slide through you. We will move around you. And maybe that's a good model for the players who have a frame like Japeth Aguilar.
That's why it's very important for Japeth Aguilar to be able to develop a decent shot from the perimeter. That's goaltending.
Goaltending, basket counts for Macky.
The issue there is that somebody nudged the basket from underneath. And that's the first field goal for Ateneo in the quarter.
Prior to that, Ateneo 0 out of 7 from the field. Nawakan yung net. Yan, sa net.
Sa net. Ayun. That's why akala ko galing sa ilalim. And Ateneo with its first field goal. Norvello. It skirts away. Escalona lead pass to Latere. Goal!
Latere!
Blue Battle Battalion yelling for the taking of the ball. Santos and company. Gavino, good move by Gavino downstairs, but they call it as a 3-second violation.
Marvin, Cruz for Gino, Ferrer.
Coach Lito Vergara sensing danger here, so he brings back his ace guard, Marvin Cruz.
Long pass on this Milo fast break. An excellent finish by Zion Latere. Brought to you by Milo. Drink Milo every day. Escalona. Aguilar says, I want to shoot. I want to score.
I've never seen this guy this pumped up for a ball game. Japeth Aguilar.
And the Ateneo with a 6-0 run. Inside, Gavino bobbles, recontrols the ball. Blocked by Aguilar, and here come the Blue Eagles. Chance to inch it closer. Tenorio looking at the offense. Tight downstairs. Escalona nowhere to go, but he scores! He really had nowhere to go.
What a shot by Macky Escalona, and just like that, 8-0 run by Ateneo. Cutting the lead to 1 point, and possibly with one more free throw, Macky Escalona can tie this game up.
Another Milo fast break. The 1-2 punch of the battery of the Ateneo, Escalona and Tenorio. Somehow, LA Tenorio knew that Escalona would score in our Milo fast break. Leo Martinez, of course, enjoying the action. You know who he's cheering for with that color he's wearing. We've got a timeout. We'll be back. Okay, 8-0 run. Lito Vergara, I think, was called for a technical. Okay, but first the bonus free. I'm confirming whether the technical was called.
So this will mean free throw for Escalona, 2 free throws for Ateneo, and ball possession to Ateneo.
Escalona ties up the ball game. Now Tenorio shoots that pair of charities off the technical.
That's right. This is a 9-0 run already for the Blue Eagles, and LA Tenorio with a chance to add on to this blistering run by the Blue Eagles.
You know, Lito Vergara, who has been calm of late, in fact, despite the tear of NU in the last game of NU and UP, he was very calm. But today, I think he must have thought there was a foul on the other end earlier.
That's right, and they were also questioning the foul against Macky Escalona. So Ateneo now will retain ball possession on top by 1 point.
And completing a 10-0 run, because earlier the score was 22-13. Boy, Aguilar, you're smiling at me because I know how to do my math. Basta 10, ano ha? Boy, what a fast-paced ball game. There's Tenorio. Kramer, that hook of his, which he has used a lot in this current season, and UP will obtain possession after the foul being whistled against Escalona.
So let's see if UP can run a good play here to stop the bleeding. As we look at Coach Dindo Pamaren and Jun Tronco. Very interested spectators.
I'll give Dindo an exam after this game. But Dindo was here very early on. Even scouted the NU Adamson game earlier. Adamson winning earlier, 93-67. So NU dropping its 9th game. Santos cracks up a 3. No dice. Escalona looks ahead. Tenorio says, "Where are you, everybody?" Ball fake and all. Wild shot by the lieutenant. Cruz, attack, attack, attack. And there's a foul. Could be on Tenorio. And Tenorio indeed called for that foul, his first. And now it's time to meet Magno Membrere in our Addict Mobile profile. Membrere had the stint earlier in the opening quarter, but could not really get a clean look at the basket.
Coach Norman knows that this guy can shoot from the outside, so he has inserted him back in. Marvin Cruz ties it up.
I agree. Marvelous Marvin, and some very nice posters and streamers along the UP side of the building. But you know, no matter what happens to UP, you know, Lito has just done a consistently good job with the UP Fighting Maroons over the last 2 years.
He has molded this team into a very competitive unit.
I think the stint also with Granny Goose in the BBL has helped them immensely. Latere almost dropping, but scores!
Very versatile player. Zion Latel can play both forward positions and can finish strong to the basket.
I think Ateneo's idea is not to walk it up. We will push the ball hard, but Cruz is left alone to shoot all day. And Cruz already with a 10-point game.
And he has mastered that 15-footer Marvin Cruz. Very consistent shooting from the outside.
The point guard shot, no, huh? If you're a point guard and you can't nail a 15-footer, you better change your position.
That's right. Remember Hector Calma? He never attempted any three-pointers, but he was probably the best shooter from 15 to 18 feet.
Parang bilangin mo na, no? Pagka si Hector ang tumira nun. Of course, Hector, also an alumnus of the UAAP, coming from Adamson University. UP has a lead of 1. They want to go to David. Towards the inside, Aguilar says, no way. That is already the 3rd block of Japeth. Tenorio scans the battlefield. Aguilar provides the huge shield, but that's a bad pick because he's moving.
That's right. And he's not.
Yep, I told you.
He was not. He got away with it the first time, but you cannot do it another time, Japeth. You have to plant his feet before he sets that screen.
And look at this. This is a Polo shot clock. Polo likes a whole lot cooler with Polo. Ateneo with 6 team fouls. On the other hand, UP with 5. Cruz and Tenorio get reacquainted. Norwello trying to find open space. And he could not find an open space and threw the ball away. Exactly a minute to play.
Very low scoring first half. Very good good played game as far as defense is concerned, Seth. But as you mentioned, poor shooting from the outside for both teams.
26-25. Piops ahead by 1. Macky del Rosario in the ball game for the first time. Ice cold. Tenorio unable to get to it. Cruz. Yes! You know, he should be also one of the candidates for most improved this year.
I cannot agree more, Seb. Not only is a better scorer now, but he is a better team leader for UP.
Maroons by 3. Tenorio. Fouled. Oh boy, look at that. 2 players sprawled after that effort by Tenorio.
And some words being exchanged between Abby Santos and LA Tenorio, the 2 team captains.
And Tenorio claiming there may have been an errant foot. Don't you like the size of our referees this afternoon? Point guard size. Perfect.
They're all gathered around LA Tenorio.
Yep.
And LA
Look at this
Tenorio's
shot.
bigger
Look
than
at this
all of
shot.
them.
All point guards. You know, this was a running thing a couple of weeks back when we all had tall referees. Then we suddenly have point guard size referees. And UP using this opportunity to plot out something for their last attack at the basket with 26 seconds, no matter what happens to these Tenorio free throws. Look at LA when he shoots his free throws, regardless of where they play, whether it's at the Ateneo or here. It's the same form, it's the same distance, and I believe the basket is still 10 feet regardless.
That's right. The only secret to free throw shooting is you have to shoot it the same way every time in order for you to be consistent.
If in golf there's a pre-shot routine, it has to be the same. If it's 5 dribbles, it's 5 dribbles. Tenorio trying to poke it away from Cruz. Look at this point guard battle. A second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Madolina. Kramer. Now time for one final game by the Blue Eagles. And at the end of 20 minutes of such a searing pace, this torrid ball game finds UP ahead by 1, 28-27. Halftime fun, halftime activities, and halftime analysis swinging around just after these.
Ateneo Blue Babble Battalion Cheer Dance Exhibition, brought to you by the new Nestle Nonstop Rated R. It's intoxicatingly good. Do not change that channel because we'll have more of the Battle of the Katipunan between the UP Fighting Maroons and the Ateneo Blue Eagles, only here on Studio 23. Kabarkada mo.
Okay, 28 to 27 was our score at the end of 20 minutes. Boy, the action at such a high, intense level, given what is at stake here, Mark.
Very competitive first half. Very evenly matched na so far both teams. Although UP opened up that 9-point lead, very quickly naman bumalik agad ang Ateneo and even grabbed that 1-point lead after that. But UP still on top by only 1 point after 20 minutes.
You know, the outside shooting wasn't exactly that hot, but maybe the difference of this game was a stat you underscored just before we got back on the air.
That's right. For Ateneo, both teams, as you mentioned, poor outside shooting, but UP making a lot of points because of the offensive rebound. 10 second chance points for UP and only 2 for Ateneo. Rebounds are the same, 22-21. Turnovers almost equal, 11-12. And Ateneo lording it over in fast break points, 11 to only 6 by UP. So Ateneo taking advantage of its speed and forcing some turnovers to go to the break. UP naman taking advantage of their height advantage against Ateneo in scoring those 10 second chance points.
And you know, this has been basically a battle of the point guards, although there have been contributions up front, but we've got Marvin, Cruz, Escalona, Tenorio, we have Gino, Ferrer, some little men who play big each time.
That's right, and it's Marvin Cruz leading the way here for the UP Fighting Maroons. A big jumper there, Marvin Cruz already with 12 points, David 5, Vaino 4. Macky Escalona, the surprise leader here for Ateneo with 13 points already, Tenorio with 5, and Zion Latel with 4 points. As you mentioned, the big men, the small men, doing the most of the damage in the first half.
And the most important piece of news, of course, is the birthday of our producer, Miss Jenny Jimenez.
21st birthday.
We do not talk about age, lest our jobs are put in peril. We only mention what is written in the script. And of course, in coordination with the graphics team, we have come up with our happy birthday Jenny graphic for the day.
Ganda yung graphics na.
Yep, that's all we're going to say.
Happy birthday to Jenny.
And you can imagine her voice na, uy, ano yan? Ano pinagagawa ninyo? Ano na naman yan nilagay nyo on the screen? Magagalit si... Oh, wag na. Hanggang na lang tayo. Okay, let's talk about UP here in the second half. UP, they suddenly got blitzed by a 10-0 run by Ateneo. They had already established a lead of as much as 9, but that did not last very long. What must they do to stop this Ateneo team from coming back in this ball game?
If you're Coach Lito Vergara, you should have told your players, we lost game 1 in the first round against UP because of fast break points of Ateneo. And now we allow them 11 fast break points again. You take away the fast break points of Ateneo, and they only scored 16 points in the first half. For UP, they need to have better transition defense if they want to win this ball game.
You know what's happening right now, as I see Larry Bonacher just recently drafted into the pro leagues. The shot clock is going bonkers here. One is reading 24, and LA Tenorio noticed that the other shot clock was at 0-0. So that's critical in the course of this ball game. They're trying to reset it. Enrico Villanueva, also former Blue Eagle, now into the hack thing.
Of course, those two guys were members of the 2002 UAP champion team. As we look at Jenkins Messina and Javi Nunag.
Oh, yes.
Former UP Fighting Maroons.
Okay, we'll take a short break and give you some important messages and return swiftly to the Blue Eagle gym. Back with us here, 28-27 as the starting off score as we now begin the second half. We had a problem with the shot clock, but that's been fixed, and therefore the game has a chance to resume.
Both teams have starting at the third quarter the same way they started the first quarter. Actually, both teams with 2 point guards on the floor, Tenorio and Escalona. And then we have Ferrer and Marvin Cruz.
Bit of an inbound problem, but nothing that Tenorio could not solve. Intal, Escalona, Kramer, Aguilar, Tenorio, the unit for Norman Black. And that's an offensive foul as Kramer used his hand to ward off the defensive man.
That's a good call. Very clear. Kramer using his left hand, pushing off against Nestor David.
That'll count as his second personal foul. Here's Marvin Cruz. UP trying to go back-to-back. They haven't done so since that 3-game winning streak at the top of season 68. 7 seconds on this UP offensive. Vino starts his move. Santos wiggles open. Basket will not count.
24
Basket will not
shot
count.
clock violation.
That's a good call. The ball was still in the hands of Santos.
Shot clock
red zero
violation.
already.
That's why the referee was emphatic. The trail referee was emphatic about it.
Because he had a clear view of the shot clock.
So, parang half a second late
Half a
lang
second late,
yung release niya. Ateneo in trouble, still in the backcourt. Finally, they crossed the midcourt line. No scores posted so far. Intal trying to get unglued, misses completely. Here's Cruz. Nobody can stop him. He dishes off to Vino.
What a play by Marvin Cruz, outrunning 4 Ateneo Blue Eagles in the play.
Boy, with what is at stake in this ball game, so much raw emotion being put on the court here as you check on this Milo fast break. Brought to you by Milo. Do drink your Milo every day. They give the foul to Vino, and that'll count as his second personal. (30-27) is the count. University of the Philippines ahead by 3. UP currently tied with De La Salle at 5 and 4, trying to improve on its standing. Try to give itself a better chance of making it to the Final Four, which they were unable to do so last year. As Intal glides to the basket. And the offensive foul against Ferrer. Tenorio has mastered that.
In fact, two guys who have mastered that flop is LA Tenorio and Marvin Cruz.
Revicon Iron Power move courtesy of JC Intal, presented by new Revicon Iron Energy Drink, condition Ion. Intal sees a bit of daylight. Kramer, difficult undergo stab, ball is loose. Kramer has it. Tenorio thought about it, sensed that there was somebody nearby. Aguilar gives the lead back to the Blue Eagles.
Excellent interior passing by Ateneo.
The Blue Eagles putting on the line a 5-game winning streak. Ball comes unattached, and finally they call a foul on the move of Cruz, of David rather.
Very physical plays underneath. What a pass here by LA Tenorio, making things happen for Japeth Aguilar.
Yes, and they can enjoy a bucket of KFC at the end of this game with that prime assist move. We had that foul on Intal, the third on the Baby Rocket.
And here's a quick substitution by Coach Lido Vergara, putting in Axel Duruelo, who will now play the off-guard position in lieu of Gino Ferrer.
David knocks in the first. So far in the assists department, Ateneo has the edge, 7-2 against UP.
And most of those assists are coming off fast break plays.
there is emotion in this game. This is not your run-of-the-mill, or this is not a battle between two academic institutions.
Right.
This is a battle for positions in the Final Four race.
Grabe ang implications. Seth.
Yes.
In fact, for UP, if they win this, they inch closer to Ateneo.
Again, violation.
May chance pa sila to even get that top 2 position in the Final Four.
Of course, UE is hoping that Ateneo stumbles here today, gives them a better frame of mind. But that depends on your perspective. Sometimes, if a team loses a game, they come up stronger in the next game.
That is so correct.
Now, Tenorio will inbound from the midcourt line. They almost lost the ball also at that midcourt area. What is the referee conferring about as far as the scorer is concerned? They're trying to clear up something.
Delay of game. Delay of game because Duruelo stepped on the line. While LA was trying to inbound, Duruelo stepped on the baseline in the process of harassing LA Tenorio.
That is a street basketball technique. Diba? Not to disrespect Duruelo, but that's what you do sa larong kalye. Apaka mo yung sideline. In the meantime, Escalona cracks up one from the side. No dice. Here comes Cruz. Wild pass. You know, I learned that move, stepping on the sideline. Growing up in Blumentritt, in the after 7 basketball courts, we were taught how to do it. I don't encourage it.
Panggulang yun.
Angulang. 7.5 remaining in this third quarter. Intal floats, knocks it in.
Boy, if he can master that jump shot. Intal soaring high for that short jumper.
Ang taas pa ng kamay niya, no? Good penetration by David. He just knows how to score from that sector of the court.
Paborito niya yan, yung baseline. He's a very solid operator along that baseline. He's JC Intal attacking the defense again.
We are into our 6th deadlock. Intal ended up confused. Passed it to the wrong man. Here comes Cruz through the base. David gets Kramer flying. And Kramer is going to be guilty of a foul.
That's the problem with JC Intal. Although he's a fabulous offensive player, he has a tendency to commit a lot of turnovers.
In the meantime, Kim Son gets the tap from Norman Black. He will pull out Kramer.
Kramer will have to sit down because he has 3 personal fouls. So this could be a big development here in favor of the UP Fighting Maroons.
And all 3s on our scoreboard as we are into our 6th deadlock. Let's see if Nestor David can snap this deadlock.
Solid game so far for David. 8 points and 7 rebounds. He is the leading scorer of the UP Fighting Maroons.
Nestor David averaging just below 52% from the free throw line. Goes 50%, gives UP a 1-point lead. Both teams have had their runs at the lead. Ateneo with the early advantage way back when it was 12-8. UP had a big lead of 9 when it was 22-13, but then Ateneo roared back quickly with a 10-0 run at that point in the second quarter. Tenorio has not really gone that much to the basket here today. But again, I always speak too soon.
Very passive play so far for Tenorio up until that point.
And Cruz trying to return the favor. Shot won't drop in. Ball is taken away. Tenorio with a lead. Bounce pass. Escalona does not waste it.
What a pass coming from LA Tenorio, and Coach Tito Vergara needs a timeout.
Listen to Ateneo roar. We will be back with more UWP action. 38-34, Blue Eagles ahead. And now the Blue Eagles on a serious tear here. Abby Santos down the baseline. Vaino fires. Yes, they needed that.
That's a surprise jumper from Mika Vaino, not really known as a perimeter shooter.
They needed that to calm down their nerves, to reassure them that they are still in this ball game. And It's a 2-point affair. Tenorio shopping around. Baracosa cracks up a 3 and a chance. Refused to stay down. Gino Ferrer sees an opening. Noruelo does not force the issue.
Good defense by Macky Escalona on Noruelo.
Baño 3. Air ball. It'll stay with UP.
You have to box out Axel Noruelo. This guy averages almost 11 rebounds a game.
Just on athleticism, huh? Based on athleticism. Gretchen, what do you have about UP?
Thanks, Coach Vergara stressed to his boys, do not fall into the trap of getting carried away by your emotions inside the court. You limited Ateneo less than 30 points in the first half, so good defense, but we can't let minor lapses affect our game. Pound Ateneo on the inside, drive and shoot with confidence. We need ball movement, add more pressure in defense. We still have a lot of time, Seb.
Thanks a lot, Gretchen. Excellent concern by Lito Vergara to check the emotional barometer of his unit. Japeth says, can I just pass it instead? Imson delivers. You know, Ateneo's assists are just so fine. The passes are so clear. Nakakahiya sa shooter kung hindi siya makaka-score.
Tama yun. And they're doing that against a zone defense. Turnover forced here by the pressure defense of Tenorio and Escalona.
And we have seen in the NU game how UP usually succumbs to pressure when they are being pressured in the backcourt. As you check on this fine delivery by Aguilar to Kim Son in a possible assist of the game delivery by KFC.
UP sticking to their zone defense. Let's see if Ateneo can set up LA Tenorio for another outside shot.
Tenorio's waiting for the pass, and there it is. Almost a difficult catch, wide open. Can't nail it, and there's a foul. Is it on Baño?
On Baño.
Let's give it to Leah Cruz for an update on the Blue Eagles.
You know, Seb, it was very tense in the Ateneo camp during halftime. In fact, the players were trying to rally around each other, saying things like, "Atin ito, and let's defend our home court." You know, really trying to get each other's spirits up. Coach Norman Black followed suit, saying, "Let's get back on our heels." And most importantly, he wants the energy levels up this second half. Seb?
And so far, they have been able to keep the energy level up. Kim Son keeps it in play, throws up a very awkward hook shot, forced upon him by the defense. Ferrer looking for Gavino. They need a close range shot. Oh, almost. But he had no angle on it.
That's right. But Gavino, he was already wide open since Japeth fell on the floor.
Ateneo swinging the ball around. Escalona. Tenorio high. Looper. This is the iron. Aguilar is there.
Very aggressive game for Japeth Aguilar. Offensive rebound and putback.
You can hear the chant for getting the ball. UP needs a response. They need a huge play here. Ferrer hopes to provide it for him. Good play. Good. Great. Getting two players flying there, and they whistle a foul.
That was a good move by Gino Ferrer. He was able to fake against Japeth Aguilar, and the foul would be called on Baracosa. But UP...
Kay Aguilar ba? Kay Baracosa?
Baracosa.
Baracosa. Okay. In the meantime, look at this Smart Buddy slow-mo in our Smart Buddy instant replay. And you know by now that Smart Buddy is the #1 prepaid service in the country. To all the students of these two schools catching up on studies and watching in their dormitories, good afternoon to all of you. I doubt if you're studying right now.
Walang nag-aaral ngayon dito.
Until 6 o'clock.
Katipunan area.
Yes. Ferrer sinks the first. Alam mo, maraming dormitory din dyan sa Diliman campus eh. So, sa mga nanonood, magandang hapon dyan sa inyo.
Pero konti ang tao siguro ngayon sa
Konti lang yan. Konti lang yan.
Nasa Ateneo na nun.
Agawan sa mga jeep yan mamaya. Wala nang tricycle. Bawal na tricycle sa Katipunan. 42-38 is our current score. 3:21. And now it's the turn of UP to apply some backboard pressure. Aguilar. And that's a foul. And that will be the UP Maroons Maroons' fourth team foul. They give it to David, and that'll count as his third.
That's big also. Third foul already on David. Hand check call.
Mark, you've been there before. We've got a timeout. I'll ask you later, do you coach every play in the collegiate game, or do you just see a bigger perspective? We'll try to get an answer from Mark when we return, but this is a mile away for timeout. Yes, solid though. Okay, back here at the Blue Eagle Gym, and meet some friends from Alemany High School, LA, USA, cheering for Macky Escalona, who happens to be celebrating his birthday this Saturday and enjoying this game as well. Here in our Mentos Power Dome, Barcada Kire. And this Mentos Power Barcada all the way from LA in the US of A. 42-38, third quarter action. So Mark, do you coach every play, or what is, aren't there different philosophies?
There are different philosophies. Me personally, I do not. I pretty much do most of the teaching in practice. And of course, meron din sa game, pero pretty much in the game, it should be the players' show already. Because if you coach every play, you will take away the creativity of the players.
Okay, so each to his own discarte, so to speak. 42-38 is our score. Membrere, who's been in and out of this ball game, gives Tenorio a rest, most likely a breather before the start of the fourth quarter. And as we know, LA has had a history of cramping up.
That is right. That is a much-needed rest for LA Tenorio because of the cramps problems. And with a very, with an un-air-conditioned venue, kailangan magpahinga talaga ni LA. 2 free throws missed by Ken Baracoso.
You know, so Ken Baracoso, always the story about him, how much of a high school star he was. But you know, I think it's just a matter of time when he gets his break. Just needs that breakout game to boost his confidence. He saw that in Intal also.
He has the tools and he has the skills to compete here in the collegiate level. Of course, a former MVP in the junior division.
In the meantime, David shakes off Aguilar, who sticks to him. The shot is blocked, but they will whistle the foul against Aguilar.
Smart play by Nestor David. He knows that he cannot win a jumping contest with Japeth Aguilar. So he's using his head and using a lot of fakes to throw off Aguilar.
Who now ends up with his third personal foul. Nestor David in his third year, standing 6'3". I really felt that he got a lot of seasoning in the PBL tournaments he had before the start of the UAAP.
Always been a promising player, but that is very correct. He got a lot of maturity and experience while playing for Granny Goose.
And some big guys going up against him in that particular run of the Philippine Basketball League. In the meantime, the whole gamut of emotions being captured by the cameras of Director Al Neri. David, there's a follow-up. No, Escalona can't handle it. Here comes Aguilar. Escalona, Baracoso and company. Membrere angled away, and a foul is called.
That's the way to do it. If you're a Magnum, take it strong to the basket. The chances of you getting fouled increase if you take it to the basket, and that's the third foul.
No, they give it to Padolina apparently, so that's going to be the third. If it was on David, that would have been his fourth. In the meantime, Jai Reyes, who likes math, and Sinikang is in our Addict Mobile profile. With Addict Mobile prepaid, you're in. You're really in.
Another UAP high school star, Jai Reyes.
Talking about high school stars, Magnum Ferrer was also a star in his own right.
From San Beda.
From San Beda, that great basketball school for juniors and for point guards apparently. With Madulato. And that's 2 for 2 by Magnum. Eagles have a 6-point lead at the 2:25 mark on this third. Nearly lost. Cruz serves it lefty. Madolina still has it. And there's a foul whistled against the Blue Eagle. That is going to be penalty.
Two shots for Madolina.
Off the foul of Kim Son, his second.
This guy is a very scrappy player. Good offensive rebounder.
Magnum Embrere is the senior citizen among those 5 players on the floor. All of a sudden, Magnum is that old.
Parang kailan lang rookie itong si Magnum.
Yep, I agree. He managed to play, was not lined up in the 2002 championship year of the Blue Eagles because of the ACL injury. In the meantime, Padolina will be shooting free throws. Michael Padolina taking care of the first. You know, if I were UP here, we're down by 5. Let's not lose our focus. Let's not worry about the officiating.
That's right. In fact, for UP, now is the time to make the comeback. JC Intal is on the bench. Ferrer is on the bench. I mean, Tenorio and Escalona are all on the bench.
Here's Japeth. There's Gibson. Ferrer can't see a blue shirt sliding in until he saw Baracoso. They go downstairs. You know, Gibson has produced quite a lot of interesting baskets from close range. He has 4 points in the game.
Coach Norman Black has done a great job in attacking this zone defense of UP. They're not settling for outside shots. They are attacking it and taking it slow to the basket.
1:39 to go. Here's Noruelo, lobs it up. It's a 3. It won't stay down. Ball is loose. Picked up by Zion Laterre. Here comes Japeth working it up. Jai looking for the opening into the swings. It was too much on the muscle there, but there's a follow-up by Baracoso.
What a strong game by Baracoso. First an assist to Gibson and then a good putback for the second-year player.
Blue Eagles now posting their biggest lead of 9, matching the biggest lead posted by UP way back when it was 22-13. A minute and 2 to go. Abby Santos. That baseline game of UP has been taken away. Padolina is by his lonesome there. Noruelo 3, no. And it's taken away. Could be an Ateneo foul. Yes.
Foul on Laterre. But everything right now is one-on-one for the UP Fighting Maroons. They need to move the ball. Nobody's creating anything for his teammates. Everything is selfish basketball right now for UP.
And here's a fine delivery to Martin Kimson, one of the candidates for assist of the game, delivered by KFC. Now, Norman Black must be smiling on the inside because a second unit is delivering some killing blows while his main unit is resting up for the 4th quarter.
That's right. I'm quite surprised that Coach Lito Vergara is sticking to his zone defense, because if you look at the Ateneo lineup right now, there is really no proven scorer. If they play man-to-man, I don't know who among these 5 Ateneo players will create points for Ateneo.
Because Japeth isn't scoring from the outside, Ferrer isn't scoring from the outside. Padolina steady from the free throw line. Nails that one. 50% there, 2 out of 4.
And this is a good move by Coach Lito Vergara, switching now to a full court man-to-man defense.
Japeth asking for a pick at the top of the keel. Wiggles open, a 3. Yes!
Big shot for the rookie Japeth, extending the Ateneo lead to 11.
Something he did almost every day in the junior games.
But you gotta love the confidence of Japeth. He missed 3 shots earlier, but he's still confident to take another one.
And look at that wild heave by Gavino, finding a way to drop in. And it's a 9-point game with 10 seconds remaining here in the 3rd. Laterre gets it across.
They need to shoot.
Gibson. You know, Gibson was saying, are you looking at the clock? Is anybody aware that we have a final shot here? Look at this smart buddy 3 from Japeth. Dynamite connecting. And Smart Buddy is the #1 prepaid service in the country. We will be back with the 4th quarter in just a very short while. The 4th quarter just about ready to segue into your screens. as the lovely co-eds from both schools enjoy the action. Don't forget that life is fun in our Jack and Jill fantastic moment. Now, let's focus on UP as this fourth quarter swings wide open, although Baracoso and company take the ball away with Cruz touching it last. Now, let's recommend a couple of things that UP might want to do here in the fourth.
First of all, there's still a lot of time. They're only down by 9 points, and they gave up 24 points in the third quarter. That is the big stat there. UP cannot afford to do that again. Maybe 10, 12 points only in the fourth quarter for Ateneo. So it should start with defense. But the rookie, Reyes, back-to-back three-pointers.
And he used to do that with wild abandon in the finals against most of the teams that Ateneo faced. There's another goal stab by David. He is the source of energy of this team.
That's like David and Marvin Cruz. They need to wake up, these two guys. 5-second violation.
Yes, 5-second violation, clearly so. Jai Reyes may have just wanted to throw the ball in at the 4th second.
And Marvin Cruz steps out again. They put in Gino Ferrer. I think they were telling Marvin Cruz he needs to stay closer to Reyes because he would rather that Jai Reyes puts that ball on the floor than take that open three-pointer.
In the meantime, UP scoring. And earlier saw a Smart Buddy three-pointer. Smart Buddy, the #1 prepaid service in the country. Basket scored by Ferrer. Good decision by UP to apply the press. Baracoso across the midcourt line. Oh, yes!
And we are seeing two young players, Reyes and Baracoso, probably the future of this team, playing well here for Ateneo.
Noruelo escapes, short snap, no go. And the rebound controlled by Baracoso. Here comes Magnum from Ferrer. Deep pass to Gibson, it's batted away. Ferrer with a quick hands. Here's Vaino. Off balance, Latere clears and cleans up the glass. Latere already with his 4th rebound. Jai Reyes signaling the play. Latere offering his body as a pick. Jai continues with his dribble. It'll stay with the Blue Eagles.
Kramer.
We've got Kramer all set to check in for Kim Son.
Shot clock 9
And Kim Son will get a good round of applause from the appreciative Blue Eagle fans. Inbound, well covered by UP until Ateneo popped out. Baracoso asking for it. Jai Reyes already with 2 threes. Yanked away from him by Ferrer. Ferrer, 2 steps ahead. Baracoso has a slice of it. Later.
Great play by Ken Baracoso, not giving up. Open shot,
Noruelo just short. Downstairs we go. And there's the ball of the attempt of Abby Santos. They will whistle it against Later as you check on this PS Bank Auto Loan fast move. PS Bank Auto Loan, simple lang. Later with his 2nd personal foul, Abby Santos. Malakas.
Coach Norman Black knows that he's got tremendous mileage already from his bench and expect him to bring back his starters soon.
You know, when the starters are smiling on the bench, you know that the 2nd unit has done its job. But this is still a long ways to go. Santos' 2nd free throw in the bucket. Just 1 out of 4 by Santos in this ball game. That's for the strike. Ateneo has problems inbounding when the press is applied on them. They take too much time there. Here's Jai Reyes. Magnum wants his version. Kramer, a chance to recycle the offense. Jai, however, has other plans. Gino Ferrer sticking to him like glue. Kramer provides the shield. Baracoso sees a bit of daylight. It's a 3 that kisses the iron. Magnum tries to chase it down. No chance. I see JC Intal running across running along the sideline, that is.
Coach Norman sensing that the last two possessions, Ateneo was not able to get a good shot, puts in back JC Intal. But what a big game for Ken Balacoso.
The timeliness of his conversions, only 4 points, but they have helped so far the cause of the Blue Eagles. Keep in mind the Ateneo team looking for a 6th straight win. UP going for a possible back-to-back. They're trying to keep their game in focus. Abby Santos with a good follow-up. Gretchen, let's go to you with a quick report about UP.
Thanks, Steph. UP will not go for a set play. This is what Coach Peter Vergara instructed them to discourse until they catch up with Ateneo. So we are going to work at 2 points at a time. And at this point, we have to be patient in making smart and accurate shots. We have to focus and get back the momentum back to our side this early on. Patay na kung patay, Seb.
And maybe that is the attitude they have to bring at this point, because time is slowly ticking away. We've got Escalona back in the ball game. Although what Jai Reyes has done so far is give LA Tenorio a lot of good bench time.
That is huge. With 6 minutes left in this game, LA Tenorio is still on the bench.
Escalona, Tal, Kramer shows himself, but no chance for a pass. Escalona has 12 seconds. Blocking foul. The defensive man was on the move.
That will be 4 fouls now on Nestor David.
You know, the basic spirit of officiating is you whistle the defense first.
Unless the offense does something, warding off or
Japeth,
lowering
Aguilar,
the shoulder,
Zion,
usually
Latere.
you will be called for a block.
And we've got Latere moving out, and everybody who's been brought out has gone out to an ovation from the appreciative fans. It's Japeth Aguilar back in the ball game. Go ahead, Mark.
I was about to say, Coach Norman now slowly but surely putting back his starters. Japeth is there now, Doug Kramer is there, Macky and JC. Offensive foul on Doug Kramer. Number 4 also for Doug Kramer.
Now, here's what Kramer will have to learn as he goes along in the next couple of years. His tendency is to give the second motion. However, you and I know that the second motion is the one that's often caught. Did your older brother ever get caught? Really, think about it in life. He feels he has to return the compliment, if you know what I'm saying. In the meantime, here comes Doruelo. There's a foul, good call. That's a good call.
Now is also the time for Marvin Cruz to pick up his game another notch. And that will be 4 fouls also on JC Intal.
Remember, the last time around, as Mark Molina correctly pointed out, a bit of a struggle by the Blue Eagles until Intal finally delivered the key blows. Intal with 23 points, 9 rebounds, 2 steals, 2 blocks. The lead is 7. Ferrer scans the floor. Cruz penetrates. A little too strong, but a good rebound by Doruelo. Axel has a chance to recycle. He's asking for a pick. Goes to Santos. They sag away from Santos. Santos trying to grind his way through. Here's Baño. Downstairs he goes. Ferrer too strong, and the rebound controlled by Mr. Stretch. Escalona hooks it. Later. Intal. Close range. No. 5.5 remaining. The lead is 7. Escalona breaks up the pass. Escalona with a 3-on-1. Goes to Aguilar. Inches closer. Scores! Norman Black was so worried about that 4-on-1 opportunity. If they had wasted it, he would be on them.
And what a play by Macky Escalona, getting that steal and the drop off to Japeth Aguilar. Coach Peter Vergara, another timeout here for UP.
58-49 as we slide into this Milo Wafer timeout. Solid call. You know what UP does not want to happen as we move into our cannon power shot of the game. They're going up against FPU next time around. They do not want to be at 5-5 going into that game. But first thing first, our cannon power shot of the game brought to you by Cannon, delighting you always. That's a graceful glide, no question about it. In the meantime, UP trying to get its bearings back. A basket by Santos. He has 7 points.
But UP continues to punish Ateneo off the offensive glass.
Tenorio back in the game. His shot, no go. And here comes a chance for UP to come within 5. Cruz.
He has been totally off here in the second half, Marvin Cruz.
No eye contact at all with Abi Santos. And here is what happened earlier with the Falcons winning their 3rd game in 10 opportunities. The Bulldogs dropping their 9th straight. Tenorio trying to be patient. Ateneo with a 7-point lead. Intal tries to grind down the defense of Dorwello. He flies with nothing. Gets it back. Shot clock at 1. Nope, that's not going to count.
Won't count.
Oh, basket, 24 seconds, shot clock violation.
With a good pass from the big man, Japeth Aguilar, to Macky Escalona. These two have done most of the damage here for Ateneo.
Now Japeth Aguilar trying to find himself in this half-court press. Here comes Santos. A basket here by UP will bring them just within 5. Santos has that in mind. Yes! Let's go to Leah Cruz for an Ateneo update.
Things are suddenly looking a lot brighter in the Ateneo camp, Seb. In fact, the players have to keep holding each other back on the bench to keep from jumping up and cheering. Coach Black reminded his boys, though, that for the remainder of the game, they cannot afford to keep giving up the baseline. Stay disciplined, Seb.
Disciplined indeed, as Escalona has a scooper of a shot, giving Ateneo somehow a comfortable 7-point lead with 3:30 to go. Into the wings, Dorwello will squeeze the trigger. No, he decides against it. Mario down the middle, loses control. It is gone. It will stay with UP. Checking in will be Gino Ferrer. Kramer will report back in anew.
Now a smaller lineup for Ateneo. Ferrer coming in. Now they have 3 guards, Ferrer, Dorwello, and Marvin Cruz.
I think they're thinking of ball control and some shooting from the outside as well.
And also a lot of ball pressure because time is running out on them.
Good point. In the meantime, Norman Black wants to talk about that point exactly and maybe a whole lot more as we segue into this timeout at the 3:23 mark. Back with us here, we've been noisy. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and our Gillette Vector 6th man of the game is Jai Reyes coming off the bench, delivering 2 big 3-pointers and delivering some needed firepower for the Blue Eagles. The ball will go to Ateneo. Shot clock problem, I believe.
24-second violation against UP.
You know, in these crucial times, when the slot in the Final 4 is so critical, you need to do the big plays.
That is correct.
Like in the case of FEU against LaSalle the other day, FEU salvaged that game via defense in the end, as you mentioned earlier.
Because of their defense. But Norman Black, Seb, taking out LA Tenorio in the final 3 minutes. So something must be bothering LA Tenorio.
Penetration!
Back-to-back layups by Macky Escalona. One using his left hand and then another one using his right hand.
Tell me what he ate for breakfast, I'll eat it too. The lead is 9, and look at this. UP can do nothing solid here in the vital stretch. Escalona. Kramer on the pick and roll. Kramer to Escalona, cranks it up with 5 on the shot clock. It'll go UP's way. 2:25 to go. And here is the assist that bested them all. This fine delivery. Our assist of the game delivered by KFC. KFC also delivers what you're craving for your style. KFC delivery at 887-8888.
And nothing going right for UP. Japeth Aguilar!
You know, Norman Black was saying, set it up, slow down. Yeah, right.
Monster jam by Japeth Aguilar. And again, the 2 guys Very consistent in today's ball game. Macky, Escalona, and Japeth Aguilar delivering for Ateneo. Santos nowhere to go against the defense of Japeth Aguilar.
I think Ateneo will now move on and slide into its 6th win with Yui waiting for them this Saturday at the Araneta Coliseum.
You know, Seb, Ateneo has won 5 in a row prior to this ballgame, but I'm very impressed with the way they're playing today because they're doing it with very little contributions from LA Tenorio and JC Intal. Other guys are stepping up big time for the Blue Eagles.
And this, they applaud the new Revicon Ion Energy Drink Power Move with the Shong Ion. An 11-point lead for the Blue Eagles going into the final minute and 33. UP could not get it going in the 4th quarter.
Maze of turnovers for the UP Fighting Maroons here.
Unforced.
They were able to cut the lead down to 5 points, but nothing going for UP. And Coach Lito Vergara, I press hits a shot. Might be too little too late for UP.
Press with his 2nd field goal. He has a decent shot from 15, and it's down to a 9-point lead. Tenorio uses Kramer's pick, and he decides to take a crack himself.
Tenorio saying, I need to join this party. And the puzzling thing, Seb, is after a very strong first half, Marvin Cruz disappeared totally in the 2nd half.
A Smart Buddy 3. Smart Buddy, the #1 prepaid service in the country. And even the replays, they're applauding them.
And LA asking to be substituted. So caps again for LA. And to think that he is playing sparingly here in the 4th quarter.
Ferrer. Penetration, that will not work. So Ateneo repeats over UP. Last time around, July 30, they also stopped the Maroons 71-63. The venue then was the Araneta, but you know, here at the Blue Eagle team, UP has always historically played well against the Blue Eagles.
That's right, and UP will drop its first defeat here at the Blue Eagle team, and they will now fall to 5-5. So LaSalle now will have inside track of 4th place.
So UP at 5-5 with 4 games to go. It's critical. They have to win, I feel, at least 3 of 4.
They need to win at least 3. And it won't be easy because they will be playing FEU next. They will be playing LaSalle. They will still play UE.
And you know how LaSalle picks up its game when it's in a crisis.
In fact, the 5-4 record of De La Salle is not appropriate to the way they're playing right now. In fact, La Salle played FEU pretty well the previous game. Here's our MVP.
No question. Hey, don't hide the guy. Macky Escalona is our Gatorade best player of the game. No question, Mark. He was outstanding all game long.
19 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists. Those are LA Tenorio numbers from Macky Escalona.
Yung mga taga Alamani High School natutuwa kay Macky Escalona. Okay, so the standings now, mag-i-improve ang Ateneo sa 7-2. 1 game up pa rin sa kanya ang UE dahil mas maraming games so far ang UE, but they will get entangled on Saturday.
We will brace for that showdown, Ateneo and UE at the Araneta Coliseum this Saturday.
Ang posisyon ang importante doon yung 2nd spot.
Remember, it's very important. I mean, the difference between #1 and #2, baliwala yan. But the difference between #2 and #3 is huge because of the twice-to-beat advantage.
And FEU, let's be totally candid about this, must also not be overconfident at this point.
Most definitely. They're playing UP on Sunday, and they need a win there because the winner of Ateneo and UE will be breathing down their necks. And what a big game from Japeth Aguilar. The sophomore is growing up right before our eyes, Seb.
Marlo, energy player of the game. Drink Marlo every day. 18 seconds remaining, a 10-point lead. This place still rocking, and to the eternal credit of UP, they're still cheering. That's the spirit. They're still in this game, cheering on their Maroons.
All is not lost for UP. They play FEU on Sunday, then, but the big one, I think right now, UP needs to beat LaSalle if they are really serious Final Four contenders.
Jai Reyes will dribble away the time. Lito Vergara on his way to meet Norman Black at midcourt line. And the Ateneo Blue Eagles score their 6th straight win with a 67-57 conquest of the UP Fighting Maroons. We're down to our last couple of awards. In fact, I think just one more award before we say goodnight. Now you can say goodnight properly. That's quite a game that we started here today. And we're going to have our Milo, or rather, let's get this clear. Our McDonald's best rebounder, and that's Doug Kramer with a total of 10 McDonald's Big Mac. Say goodnight properly, Mr. Molina.
A very quiet game by Kramer. In fact, the starters of Ateneo not very impressive, but their bench carried them through.
Absolutely.
And then two guys, Aguilar and Escalona, providing the points for Ateneo.
Okay, Mark, always a pleasure to see you and work with you. Same with Gretchen as well as Leah Cruz. And on Saturday, to join us as the USD Growling Tigers get entangled with the Adamson Falcons, who won earlier. And the big one, it's Ateneo de Manila up against the University of the East. Pues, posisyonan na ito, Mark. Labanan na ito.
The winner there will get solo second place dahil the other team will drop to its third loss. So, yeah, on Saturday.
On that note, we thank all of you, and all, as Boom always says perfectly, the hardworking men and women of CBN Sports, our director Al Neri, and our entire production team. We'll see you all come Saturday. On behalf of Leah, Gretchen, Mark, this is Sir Mendez saying good night, Philippines. We'll see you next Saturday here in the UA.